We've got some unexpected news about the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge that you're definitely going to want to hear. If you've been eagerly waiting for this ultra-thin flagship to hit the shelves, well, you might need to wait a little longer. Reports are now saying that Samsung has postponed the launch. Yes, you heard that right. Initially expected to drop in April, it's now being pushed to May or possibly even June. So what's going on? Why the sudden delay? And what does this mean for Samsung's overall smartphone lineup? Let's break it all down. So here's the deal. According to multiple sources, including ET News and well-known leakers like Ice Universe, Samsung has quietly informed telecom carriers in South Korea that the S25 Edge launch is officially postponed. Originally, the plan was to release it this month, but now we're looking at a launch window stretching from May to June. That's a pretty wide gap, and naturally, it's got a lot of people asking, why? Well, the delay isn't because of quality issues, which is usually the first thing people assume when a launch gets pushed back. Instead, it seems like Samsung made this decision in response to the recent passing of Jie Han, the head of Samsung DX device experience. Given his role in the company, it makes sense that Samsung would take a step back and reevaluate their launch plans. And here's something else. Samsung reportedly won't even hold a big unpacked event for the Galaxy S25 Edge. Instead, it looks like they'll be announcing it through an online event, where we'll also get details on a price and exact release date. Speaking of price, the 256GB version is rumored to cost around 1.5 million Korean won, which translates to roughly $1,023. For a device that's supposed to be Samsung's thinnest smartphone yet, that price tag isn't shocking, but it's also not exactly cheap. Now, if you're wondering whether this phone is still worth the hype, let's quickly go over what makes the S25 Edge special. Samsung first showed off this device in January, and it's packed with some pretty impressive specs. A 6.7-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X display, Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite processor, a dual-camera system with a 200-megapixel primary sensor and a 12-megapixel ultrawide, a 12-megapixel front-facing camera, a 3900 mAh battery, 3 colors, black, blue, and silver. But the real highlight, that incredibly slim 6.4mm body. This is going to be one of the thinnest flagship smartphones on the market, which is exciting, but also a little concerning given past issues with ultra-thin phones and battery safety. We all remember what happened with the Note 7, right? Now, here's where things get even more interesting. According to leaks, retailers around the world were already gearing up for pre-orders. They had all the details, they were ready to start marketing, and then, boom, Samsung pulled the brakes at the last minute. So whatever caused this delay, it was clearly something major and unexpected. And while some are speculating it's just about adjusting their marketing strategy, others think Samsung might be using this extra time to increase production. Right now, they're reportedly planning to manufacture about 3 million units of the S25 Edge, which would make up roughly 10% of the entire Galaxy S25 lineup. If demand is higher than expected, maybe Samsung is working to ramp up production before launch. Of course, not everyone thinks this delay is a good thing. If Samsung does go ahead with an announcement in April, but then it makes people wait until May or June to actually buy the phone, that could backfire. We've seen this happen before. Google, for example, recently announced the Pixel 9 way too early, and now people are just waiting. The hype dies down, interest fades, and by the time the phone actually launches, some people have already moved on. Samsung knows this, which is why it'll be interesting to see how they handle the timing of the announcement versus the actual release. If they don't execute this properly, the S25 Edge could risk being overshadowed by newer devices coming out around the same time. So should you still be excited about the Galaxy S25 Edge? Honestly, probably yeah. It's still shaping up to be a fantastic phone with cutting-edge design and flagship specs, but this delay raises some questions. Is Samsung just trying to be respectful in light of Jie Han's passing? Are they trying to refine the phone before launch? Or, worst case scenario, did they run into an issue they're not telling us about? For now, all we can do is wait and see. That's all for today's update. What do you think about Samsung's decision to postpone the launch? Are you still planning to buy the S25 Edge, or has this delay made you rethink things? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.